In just over 2 years, the McHenry Riverwalk Shoppes went from a concept to a reality. More than just a physical space, the McHenry Riverwalk Shoppes is a retail incubator program created to provide a low-risk, high-support environment for small businesses and emerging brands. The program is open to startups who want to try out a new concept, online or home-based businesses who want to test out a storefront, and existing businesses from other communities who are considering a secondary location and want to test the McHenry market. Participants are chosen after a multi-step process. Using a scoring rubric, an independent jury selects the top candidates for the 10 available buildings. Businesses are graded on their concept, viability, business plans, diversity of offering, and interest in moving into a brick-and-mortar location in the future. Then a final pitch interview is conducted. Selected vendors receive marketing assistance, mentoring, education, and more. This allows businesses to test out brick-and-mortar retail, expand their network, develop their business acumen, and gain exposure. Since January, our shop owners have been attending workshops and have been provided with strategic support in order to put them in the best possible position to succeed. They run as a cohort, giving each other guidance and encouragement in addition to what we provide. We asked some of the shop owners to comment on how the program has impacted them in their business.
Hi, I'm Shelby Fairweather, and my shop is called Bright Nest, and I offer handmade items and unique goods. Having the shop at the McHenry Riverwalk has helped me make connections and network within the community, as well as expand what my business can offer to my customers.
I'm Julie Skaggs from Mad Scientist Candle Company. We are a home-based candle production that makes soy candles. We've been overwhelmed with the response here. People are loving what they see, and it's really given us food for thought. We're moving into different demographics. Traditionally, we have focused our sales in the craft fair market, doing about 12 to 15 shows a year in the general Northern Illinois area. Moving over here to the Riverwalk has allowed us to expand our product line. We now have the space to expand into candle accessories, such as wood candle holders and wall sconces. These are products that we would not be able to do in a craft fair setting because we just don't have the space to do them.
Hi, I'm Christina Dillard. I'm the owner of Suburban Design. One of the coolest things that I think I've experienced that was a little surprising was just the sense of community. Being an inner city child and growing up in the inner city, I never experienced community like this. But the most surprising thing is just having people come in and making us part of the community. There's no distinction between, well, she's not from here and this person is. So that's been amazing. And then the other super cool part is watching the community come in with their families that are from out of town, or my people from the city coming out, being so impressed here, purchasing and going, you know what, I'm coming back with my family. This is definitely a place that they want to come and shop. So I think the number one thing I was most surprised of is just the type of community that McHenry is, feeling blessed to be a part of the community, and then having other people come into this community, see how special it is, and want to be here too.
The program definitely affects the lives of our 10 shop owners, but the reach is much larger. This project has had a significant impact on McHenry. To see why, let's go back to the beginning. The idea was proposed in April of 2021. Carl Valianatos, Assistant Superintendent of McHenry High School District 156, was traveling to Batavia with his family and just happened to drive by the Batavia Boardwalk Shoppes. Carl was instantly inspired and wanted to recreate the miniature shopping experience here in McHenry. He reached out to the city of McHenry to gauge their interest in bringing this to the community. Carl also approached the McHenry Area Chamber of Commerce, where he sat on the board, pitching the retail incubator program to staff. Finally, he envisioned an educational component by involving McHenry High School students in the project. In addition to the building trades, he wanted to include students in engineering, marketing, and graphic design. Once the 3 main collaborators were on board, a committee was formed including McHenry area business owners who had helped develop the new venture. Members of the committee represented the city, chamber, high school, downtown business owners, and construction professionals. After viewing multiple properties for a potential location, the committee settled on a small area on Riverside Drive near Miller Point. After brainstorming possible layouts and conducting multiple user groups, the project expanded to include redevelopment of Miller Point Park, building on what the McHenry Riverwalk Foundation had already accomplished. The committee focused on two main goals. Number one, to activate retail. We wanted to encourage entrepreneurs and fill empty storefronts. And number two, to create a destination location by attracting visitors to the area and better leveraging our position on the Fox River. Now that we had a vision, it was time to design the buildings. Working closely with their teachers and industry professionals like Jonathan Kaznowski of Wold Architects and Tony Bartolotta and Rick Anderson of Black Diamond Plumbing and Mechanical, students helped to design and construct the prototype. Thanks to the generosity of Jerry Quirk, store manager for the McHenry Home Depot, the cost of supplies for the prototype were entirely donated. Eventually, with Jerry's help, all of the framing materials were covered through a Home Depot grant. With the prototype complete, the students spent last year building the walls and joists of the shop buildings that would eventually be assembled at Miller Point. In March, crews started site development immediately following the Shamrocks the Fox event. Money raised from the 2022 Rise Up Festival was used for excavating the area and pouring foundations and concrete slabs. Just 1 month prior to breaking ground, we found an indispensable member of our team, Mike Moracek, who agreed to volunteer as the project manager. In 3 short months, Mike helped us to coordinate the labor schedule, materials, and other construction logistics. Since the project was going to be done entirely through donated labor, with multiple contractors and volunteers touching the project, his organization and experience was key. Another ace in the hole for the project was the addition of Habitat for Humanity. Access to their tools and construction know-how, in addition to their volunteer base, was vital to this project being a success. Site supervisor Brian Culbert was there the entire 3 months of construction, helping to answer questions and guide volunteers. Construction on the shops began on May 1st. Even though it was 38 degrees and raining, we started assembling the buildings at Miller Point. High school students, Habitat for Humanity volunteers, and employees from McHenry Parks and Recreation Department stood up the first 4 buildings on day 1 and had 9 of the 10 buildings up by the end of the week. On week 2, the weather improved drastically, just in time for our professional contractors like Rock Solid Builders and Style Exteriors to kick construction into high gear. Jeremy Bates, owner of Style Exteriors, stepped in early to coordinate a donation of Brava Tile, our synthetic roof material. The sustainable product looks like slate and will last 50 years. Jeremy also committed crews to the installation of the shingles and gutters at no cost. We had already broken ground at the site when Steve Cruz was approached about helping us with the donation. Local to McHenry, the Cruz brothers literally wrote the book on LP siding. Their training manuals are used around the country to teach contractors how to install the products. They also have been featured on HGTV. Between their generosity and leaning on their contacts at corporate, we received all of our siding for the project for free. The addition of LP siding means the exteriors of our buildings are virtually maintenance-free for 50 years. By week 3, our shops had really taken shape, and we were able to start working on the interiors, including doors and windows installed by KZ Glass and EA Precision Builders. Week 4 is when the community really began to take notice, and people started reaching out to us, offering their help. We had secured the donation of LP siding for the shops, but we were still looking for someone who could install it. Al Herget, owner of Amerideck Construction, had heard about the project at the Pearl Street Market and wanted his team to get involved. He generously offered his crew for what ended up being multiple weeks to complete the project. Stuckey Construction, the site developer contracted by the city, worked closely with our volunteer crews, graciously leapfrogging with us so we could both stay on schedule. Their crews laid the gorgeous pavers at a time when our volunteers seemingly started to dry up. However, McHenry stepped up again, and after a request for skilled carpenters and painters, we had several people reach out and offer their support to the project. Safeguard Custom Homes completed all of the trim work. Allegiant Painting and Strock Painting brought in their crews to spray the interiors with paint donated from Sherwin-Williams and McHenry Ace Hardware. Week 8, Jets Heating and Air and American Heating and Cooling installed our Whisper Quiet mini splits, which allow the units to be climate controlled year round. Black Diamond, Carey Electric, and Ridgeview Electric were also back installing outlets, switches, and lighting. Not exclusive to week 9, but important to mention, more than just contractors and construction volunteers stepped up. All of our crews had food provided for them throughout the 3 months, courtesy of local restaurants and community member donations. In addition, we received a donation of 2 very important supporting services: a dumpster from LRS for all of our construction garbage, and porta potties from Patel Septic. By week 10, we were adding the finishing touches like faux beams and size flooring, installed our scratch-resistant, waterproof flooring. Week 11, we were ready for the signage from Signs by Fry and Signorama, and Happy Home and Office came in to clean off the construction dust. Our shop owners moved in during week 12, and crews worked to finish last-minute items before opening day. Over 400 people joined us for the ribbon cutting on July 21st. It wasn't a surprise. The truth is, McHenry shows up. When we started the project, we were worried about labor. We couldn't have imagined that by the end, we had 36 professional contractors step up to help us out. A total of 924 volunteers helped to build the shops. The donated labor from professional contractors was over $285,000, and the estimated cost of the additional volunteer labor was another $187,000. Another area where McHenry stepped up was cash donations and sponsorships. Steffens Jewelers was our first pillar-level cash donation. Their support of the project, when it was still just a sketch on paper, gave us confidence that our community understood the impact of what we were about to do. The same is true of our 3 car dealerships, Bus Ford Lincoln, Castle Automotive Group, and Sunnyside Dodge Chrysler, who supported us at the legacy level. Support is continuing to come in. Just 2 weeks ago, we received another pillar-level donation from the Thomas and Janelle Popovich family in memory of Chris Bimby. Over 200 local businesses have donated in some capacity. Since there were no labor expenses for the shops, we just had the cost of materials and a few miscellaneous expenses. The total cost of the McHenry Riverwalk Shoppes is just under $300,000. The cost savings from donated materials was over $146,000. So far, we've received about $110,000 in cash donations. If you are interested in supporting the shops, we still welcome donations through the McHenry Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation, which is a tax-deductible charitable organization. We are still about $40,000 short of our final goal, so incoming funds will be used to pay back the loan made by the McHenry Area Chamber. While it's premature to truly measure the success of the program, we are hurtling towards our goals. The project has already encouraged other businesses to move into the area, filling empty storefronts. Out-of-town guests and visitors from other communities are spending money in our town. And the excitement for the project has turned into real dollars for our shop owners. By week 2, each of our shop owners had made enough to cover the cost of the retail incubator program. Shop owners are starting to explore options for transitioning into a more permanent location. However, they still have 4 months left, so be sure to check them out. Our current season lasts through December. We have fun things planned for the rest of the season, including a transition into a holiday market. The shops are open Fridays and Saturdays from 10 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 4. Each shop owner can choose to be open additional hours, so check their individual websites for more info. A final note, applications are open for the 2024 season, so if you know of a business who could benefit from the Retail Incubator Program, please encourage them to apply. As you can see, the McHenry Riverwalk Shoppes was truly a community project. It goes to show what can happen when we all work together. We can't wait to see what the future brings.